कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा, कुंज विहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे, जय राधा मुरलीधर राधा, जय राधा रमण राधे, राधा माधव राधे, जय राधा विनोद राधे, जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम, कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम, जय वृंदावन धाम वृंदावन धाम, जय वृंदावन, जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनि, जय पंचतत्वा पंचतत्वा जय पंचतत्व, जय षड्गोस्वामी गण जय षड्गोस्वामी गण, षड्गोस्वामी गण जय षड्गोस्वामी गण, जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद, जय गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जब पात्रम स्टोत्र सदा भक्ति प्रपाद महाराज की जय, संसार 50 लाख प्रपाद महाराज की जय, कृष्ण कृपावती शिला प्रपाद महाराज, जगत गुरु शिला प्रपाद महाराज, जब पात्रम स्टोत्र सदा भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, आचार्य वृंद की जय, नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय, प्रेम से जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी द्वारका धाम की जय, गंगे मैमन माया की जय, तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम हरिनाम संकीर्तन श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांस बुक टू श्री, all glories to assemble duties, all glories to assemble duties, all glories to assemble duties, all glories to all glories Shri Guru Shri Gauranga Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So welcome to all for today's Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavatam session, and today, now since we are celebrating the Gaur Purnima, so today I've been asked to summarize the Antya Lila. So I think Bhagavatam text is not there today, but we'll straight away go with the Antya Lila. We'll start with the prayer. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Shalaka Chakshurumritamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swaprupagadam Mahyam Dadatu Suvadantiyo. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapatakamallam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanutamsha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namaste Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shubhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarupsha Kripa Sindhubhya Pattanam Pavan Vaishnavibhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Narayan Namaskritya, Naram Chaiva, Narottamam, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam, Tato Jayamudire, Next Apraksha Abhadreshu, Tyam Bhagavata Sevya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Hare Krishna. So we have just completed 540 years of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance from 1486, now 2026. So, and this time we had a very similar atmosphere when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. That time also the lunar eclipse was there, and just after the around the new lunar eclipse time, Mahaprabhu also appeared. So devotees were very joyously overwhelmed, and then they were taking bath in after the eclipse in the Ganga, Jalangi, Mayapur, and then they were in complete ecstasy, and then they were calling out the holy names, Hari Hari, and then Hari Hari, like that, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Rama Rama. So all these holy names were being called. So it was a very joyous occasion, and then that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also appeared. So now this time also, yesterday we had this same lunar eclipse, and then some temples celebrated the same day, because the lunar eclipse, the eclipse time was just about 13 minutes or 15 minutes. But then some places they ignored, because Shastra also says that if it is a duration of the eclipse, when the moon, after the moon rise, if it is very short duration, then it can be ignored. So like that, many temples had not, many temples did not observe it. They had normal program, but some temples, especially South India, it was closed, and so many temples are celebrating today Gaur Purnima. So like this, this is a very very joyous, wonderful occasion, as we have heard the song. Yeah, Yadi Gaur na hoito. So if Gaur Mahaprabhu had not come, what would have been our situation? It is something very very poignant situation, because Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared, and that too he appeared in the form of a devotee. We could be saved. Otherwise, we could not be. Now, if you had, Lord takes so many avatars, so many incarnations, so many pastimes he does, and in each of these pastimes, it is a specific purpose. For example, when Varaha came, it was a specific reason that he had to bring back the earth. And then Matsya, it was a specific reason to bring back the Vedas. Narsimha, it was to protect a devotee, Prahlada. So like this, Parshurama, Rama, all of them had their own, very, very limited, exposure, or limited potency, or limited, purpose. But when now when Gauranga Mahaprabhu came, it is something very very unique, actually, because he revived the whole Krishna consciousness. He actually, in many of these pastimes, we see that it is the devotee have been protected, and the asura has been killed, and dharma has been established. Even when Krishna appeared, also he did the same thing with the Pandavas and Kauravas. The situation was like that, so he had to fight the battle against the adharma. So now that was the situation. But now, and anyway, now we are in the Kali Yuga. So it is said that in Kali Yuga, if you have to find out where the faults are, where the contamination is there, it is not there in any family. It's not there in any country. It's not there in any any planet. It is actually within our hearts. The contamination is within our heart. So that had to be clean. So this is the fight which had to be, which Lord had to impose upon, and then he fought. He showed that how we can fight, how we have to fight by chanting the holy names, by how we can purify ourselves, how we can remove the contamination, because all the enemies, varios, are sitting in our heart, and that is how he's showed this. And then most importantly, the love of Godhead. So that's what the song says. Yadi gaurna hoito tabe ki hoito ke mane dharite de radhara mahima prema rasa sima jagata janate re. So he had to show that prema rasa, the madhurya rasa, and then radhara mahima, Radharani's potence, because she is the exemplary devotee of the Lord. So he had to show that. And then Madhura Vrinda Vipina Madhuri Pravesha Chaturi Sara Varaja Yuvati Bhavera Bhakati Shakati Haitakara. So again, to render ecstatic devotional service, how we have to do, and we have to just follow the footsteps of the Vraja, Vraja Yuvati Bhavera Bhakati. They have to take that mood. That is that mood in which we can do Krishna's adoration, Krishna's worship, and that is the best, because they are the most clever people. And then so that he had to establish. And also yeah, so that was the glorious. And so now again this song says that you sing the glorious qualities of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Keep your heart simple. Not even one person within this ocean of essence has ever seen such a magnanimous personality as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So that's why called most munificent avatara. Mahavadanyaya. That's what Rupa Goswami, when they met, and Sanatana Goswami met in Ramkeli the first time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the time he immediately composed this, Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne, Gauratyushe. So like that, he glorified the Lord. He's the one who is going to spread the love of Godhead. Then, even though I chant the holy name of Gauranga, somehow I still not melted. How I maintain this burden? How the Creator has fashioned like a stone, this body, the stone in place of Vasudev Ghosh heart. So Vasudev Ghosh is also lamenting that my heart has become like stone-like. Even though I chant the holy name of Gauranga, somehow still not melted. Yeah, that is the last paragraph. Gauranga Balya Negenu Galia Kemanu Dharendre Devasur Hiya Pashanadiya Kemane Gadiyache. So like this, he is also glorifying at the same time Lord. So now we have seen, I think the first day we covered, that was on Monday, we covered the first Adi Lila. And then Tuesday was the Madhya Lila. And in Madhya Lila, I think mostly we have come across Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, especially this one with Ramakeli, where he met Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, who were actually the ministers in Nawab Hussain Shah, Sakar Mallika. They were named as Sakar Mallika and Dabir Kasa, but actually their original name was initiated name was Santosh and Amara. So like that, this was the pastime we saw. And then apart from that, most importantly, after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's next pastimes were also revealed. And then Krishnadas Gauraj Goswami goes back to the pastimes of Madhvendra Puri, how our Gaudi Sampradaya came into existence, and how the Madhurya Rasa was being established, the Krishna Prema, Govinda Prema. In fact, 4 days back, we also celebrated this Shantipur festival, where Advaita Acharya and Sachi Mata, just after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had taken the sannyas. So Nityananda Prabhu, none of them wanted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take sannyas, because they wanted him to take care of the family, his wife Vishnupriya, and then mother Sachimata. But Lord had his own plan. He took the sannyas and then he came. And then he was misled by Nityananda Mahaprabhu, and then they came to Shantipur. And there, that day happened to be Madhavendra Puri's disappearance day. So that celebration was already going on. Advaita Acharya was doing there. And then Mahaprabhu also came that time, and then they also did that celebration. So it was a great occasion there. And he stayed for about 7 days and got the servings from fed from Chaitanya Mata and all that. And then Chaitanya Mata also, she said that I can't tolerate the separation from you. So then Mahaprabhu said that he promised. And she also asked if you can stay in Jagannath Puri, that will be nearer to me instead of in Vrindavan, which was very, very far. So that's why Mahaprabhu had to stay in Jagannath Puri. He agreed and then he stayed. Then liberation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and then Lord's South India tour, and then interaction between Ramananda Raya. I think all these would have studied yesterday. And then his visits to Vrindavan, all the Vrindavan, then Rath Yatra pastimes in Jagannath Puri. And then meeting with Rupa Goswami, Dashashwamedha Ghat, Prayag, where he gave those instructions in 10 days. He gave the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Entire Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu was given to all the main points were discussed with Rupa Goswami. Then that's how he wrote the book. Then next, again, interaction with Sanatan Goswami and his instructions to Sanatan Goswami. So like this, from which he also wrote many books, and then also he gave the Haribhakta Vilas. So like this, all this happened. That was the mid. So it happened, say between. So Mahaprabhu's 48 years, 24 years was before sannyas, and then 24 years after sannyas. So in that, after the sannyas, after 1 or 2 years later, in 1510, from 1486 to 1510, it is 24 years. After that, 1511, he came to South India. So 2 years is the South India Yatra, and then it was interaction stayed in Jagannath Puri, and his interactions with all the devotees happened. So now in the Antya Lila, we'll very, very crucial aspects are there in Antya Lila. A lot of Mahaprabhu's Leelas took place. So here, it was he meets the chapter title is Rupa Goswami's second meeting with the Lord. So here there are several instructions which you also get from the book Prabhupada also. So I'll just touch upon that. In the ninth chapter, in the first chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami starts from the shloka. Madhya Lila Madhye Antya Lila Sutra Gana Purva Granthe Sankshepe Kariyachi Varnana. I have briefly described the Antya Lila with the description of the Madhya Lila, because he was expecting that he may not complete, because he was very old, he was 90 plus. So he thought that I may not live for long. So that's why he also gave most of the, just in summary brief about the Antya Lila. But now he is telling that by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am attempting now to finish Antya Lila. I briefly described pastime Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, known as Madhya Lila. Now I shall attempt to describe something about his pastimes, which are known as Antya Lila. And then now he says in the shloka 11, Ami jara grasta nikate janiya marana antya kono kono lila kariyache varnana. I am now almost an invalid because of old age, and I know that at any moment I may die. Therefore, I have already described some portions of the Antya Lila. So here Prabhupada gives his purport. Following the footsteps of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, I am trying to translate Srimad Bhagavatam as quickly as possible. So we can see the mood of Prabhupada also. In fact, Prabhupada, when he started Bhagavatam, he had just completed first canto when he had gone to US in the 1965, and then later on for several years he was writing the other cantos, and then in between he thought he should stop. He should first finish Chaitanya Charitamrita. So in 71, I think he wrote 71. He wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita, because he said that this is something very unique. This scripture very unique, and this has to be circulated. This has to be given to the people. In 1971, he wrote Krishna book, because he thought maybe we will not complete the entire Bhagavatam. Let me write all the chapters, summarize and give a synopsis of the Krishna's pastimes of 10th canto. So he wrote Krishna book in 71. Then 72, 73, he finished Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that time he is telling this. So he wanted to quickly finish. And as we know, and by the 77, when he passed away, he had only completed up to the 10th canto. It was halfway. And later on, his disciples completed the 11th and 12th. So he says, however, knowing myself to be an old man and almost an invalid because of rheumatism, I have already translated the essence of all literatures, the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, as a summary study in English, which is Krishna book. I started the Krishna conscious movement at the age of 70. Now I am 78. So my death is imminent. So it's 78. That means it is, in 73. I'm trying to finish the translation of Srimad Bhagavatam as soon as possible, but before finishing it, I've given my readers the book Krishna, the Supreme Personality, so that if I die before finishing the whole task, they may enjoy this book, which is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's very much dear Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's why he wrote this. And then in this, we also get the pastime of Shivananda Sena. So that is the pastime, very interesting pastime. So when Shivananda Sena was actually organizing the trip from Bengal to Puri to bring all the devotees from Mahaprabhu devotees from Bengal, Gaudadesha, to Puri. So while he came once this time, so he also came. There was one dog which also joined with him, and he had to. It came to Jagannath Puri along with them with the yatra, and then he had to cross over the river. That time, the Oriya boatman said, "No, I can't take the dog." But then he paid some extra money, and then he brought them also. And then he became so attached to the dog. He was feeding the dog every time, and then suddenly one day they could not see the dog. They were very astonished. What happened? Where is this dog? And then he sent some people to find out where the dog is also. And they could not find out. Later on, they saw that in Jagannath Puri it had come and it was staying near Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. So when all the devotees came to the place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they saw the same dog sitting quite apart from the Lord. And furthermore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was throwing remnants of green coconut pulp to the dog, smiling in his over. So he was throwing the coconut pulp and he was telling, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and then Hari, like that he was telling to the dog. And then it was eating. So he was again, repeating the holy names. So like this, it happened. And everyone was surprised. My God, what is this Mahaprabhu trying to, give holy names to the Lord, to the dog? What is this? It's very, very strange. So like that, they were thinking, and what will happen to this? So like that, they were thinking in that way. But actually, they didn't know the real meaning of it. They had not anticipated. And then later on, after the next day, when they saw that again, the dog was not to be seen. Then it was concluded. It was concluded that the dog had actually gone to the spiritual world. When he saw the dog sitting in that way, chanting and the name of Krishna and chanting the name of Krishna, Shivananda, because of his natural humility, immediately offered his obeisance to the dog, just his offense to it. So next day, no one saw the dog, for it had obtained the spiritual body and departed to Vaikuntha. So like this, this was the very transcendental pastime of the Lord. And devotees, we cannot understand how Lord does it, and then when he could deliver the dog just by chanting the holy names and feeding the dogs the remnants. It is what to speak of our we with all our intelligence, mind, into all our whatever little faith and love we have. If you are chanting the holy names, then how much glorious it will be. What the Lord can do for us. So like this, and then later on they meet Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami and all the devotees they meet. Rupa Goswami had come from Vrindavan, and there we see that how Rupa Goswami's intelligence and his poetic ability and the way he was taking the Krishna consciousness and understanding the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had composed one or two shlokas, and one of the very famous shloka he recites here. So which is the Tunde Tandavini Ratim Vitunate Tundavali Dabdhaye. So the translation is like this: I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. So this shloka number 99 in the first chapter. So the Krishna have produced. When the holy name of Krishna is chanted, it appears to dance within the mouth. We then desire many, many mouth. When that name enters the holes of the ear, we desire many, many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. So this is the how he is glorifying the holy name. This verse is included in the Vidagdha Madhava. It's a one-act play written by Rupa Goswami, Distant Pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. So here, Vidagdha Madhava is actually on PLA, he had written about Krishna's and Vrindavan pastimes. But then later on, when he comes to one Satyamamapura. So there, actually, one damsel, the lady comes to him, and then she advises that you give two pastimes. One pastime of the Dwarka and Mathura, and another with the Vrindavan. So that is a distinction, to see the Aishwarya Bhava and the Gopi Madhurya Bhava. So then, on the advice of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he divides that the whole drama into two: Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava. So Lalita Madhava is all about Vrindavan pastimes. Vidagdha Madhava is about the Dwarka and this pastime. So like this, he also gets the mercy of the Lord. And, yeah. So this way, he composes, and he is glorified. He is all of the devotees, all the Sarva Bhattacharya, Ramananda Raya, Nityananda Mahaprabhu, all of them, they praise the Lord Haridas Thakur. And then also in Shloka 132 is a very famous shloka which he composes, glorifying the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Anarpita Charim Chirat Karnava Tirna Kalau Samarpayitam Unnatojvala Rasam Swabhakti Sriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipitau Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratau Sachinandanaha. So this shloka, he actually Chaitanya Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami recites this in the third or the fourth shloka, the fourth, fifth, sixth glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the first Adi Lila, first chapter. So this is the same shloka. He is again being repeated here. So this is a wonderful explanation of Mahaprabhu's appearance. So here he says, may the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachidevi, be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart. Yeah, 1.4. Resplendent with the radiance of the molten gold, he has descended in the Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. The most elevated mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. Yeah, so this is the, so he came for that purpose, to give the elevated mellow of devotional service, mellow of conjugal love. And we are discussing about the various avatars, Krishna's, everyone came with so many weapons, like Parashurama with the axe. Then we have Rama with the bow and arrow. When Krishna came, it was only the flute. That was the only weapon he had. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, even the flute also was not there. He just came with the few weapons. What was the few weapons which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu carried? His beauty and his the golden complexion, and his beauty and his love for the Jivadaya. The Jivadaya itself was so compassionate, so Audarya Bhav. That compassionate, munificent Lord itself is like a weapon. Actually, weapon to kill all the contaminations in our heart. So that was the greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. That beauty and his demeanor, how he interacted with the devotees. If anybody reads Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, they will understand how subtle that relationship he maintained with the devotees. Such an intricate situation, such a difficult situation, he showed it the real solution. He really showed what is relationship all about, how is love and care all about. I mean, so many pastimes. We'll discuss that in as we go along. So many pastimes we came across this. Now it's already 10 o'clock and a half an hour. It's actually not going to do justice. Lila has about so much of verses, so much of pastimes. But I will try to quickly summarize the most important pastimes. Yeah. So this is about the first chapter, and then we come to the second chapter, which is chastisement of the junior Haridas. So there was devotee, Bhagwan Acharya. He had invited Chaitanya Prabhu for prasadam, and then there Chota Haridas also was there in this in that area. So Chota Haridas, he asked Chota Haridas to bring the rice, the white rice from Chiki Mahiti. Chiki Mahiti also is one of the other devotees. They are all in Bengal. then they're all living, they're all same contemporaries. So ask them to bring, and then he goes and then he brings, he does the service. So here what happens, that when Chaitanya Prabhu, after the taking prasadam, he asks, because normally in Bengal there used to be two kinds of rice, depending upon the season. One is the white rice, which is actually the white rice which is not the boiled one, and it is dried. The paddy is removed, the grains are taken, and then directly it is either polished, slightly polished, and then it is used. But there is other one which is actually the brown rice, which is actually the after grain is removed, it is boiled, or the husk is boiled, and then it is beaten up, and then they take out the rice grains, which is the boiled one. So this white rice was available. So they had to make some nice dishes for Mahaprabhu. So white one is more preferred for making offering to the Lord. The brown one is not preferred. That's what Prabhupada says in one of the purports there. So when he brought, when Mahaprabhu came to know that it was Chota Haridas who brought it, then later on, actually Chota Haridas was actually in the Brahmacharya. So he had taken the vow of Brahmacharya. And then later on, and then Mahaprabhu, after everything is over, he tells his personal assistant Govinda that in future, don't allow Chota Haridas to come in front of me. I don't want to see him. So like that, he rejects Chota Haridas. And Chota Haridas, when he hears that message, he gets devastated. How come, how is this Lord has done like this? Of course, there was a valid reason why Chaitanya Prabhu had mentioned that, is because that he had, although being in a saffron, he was interacting with the ladies, and he was had a lot of interaction with the family people. So this Chaitanya Prabhu wanted to be avoided. He didn't want his disciples, especially the saffron ones, to interact with the women folk, because the urge is so strong, it is very difficult to control. So that's why he was trying to give a lesson, or give them a real instruction that if you are in saffron, you have to stay away. And then later on, so other devotees also tried. So many devotees tried to convince Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that to please him, and then please forgive him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never relented, and then he said that no, he has committed the offense, and being in that elevated position, he should not have done this, like that he says. And later on, after a year or so, Chota Haridas disappears. Nobody knows. Later on, they come to know that actually he has gone to Triveni Sangam in Prayag, and he commits suicide. And then this message also reaches Chaitanya Prabhu, but then Chaitanya Prabhu is not so much affected. He says that yes, this was destined to happen. I know it would happen, and then this is fine, because the devotee has done this, and then this is what is the result. And then it is said that he became a Brahma Rakshas, and then he was floating around different places. But one good thing was Chaitanya Prabhu gave him the mercy that let him chant, even if he is a ghost also, that he should chant the holy name. And that way, many times it was Chaitanya Prabhu also had declared that, oh, now because Chota Haridas was also doing nice kirtan. So no, now I'm hearing Chota Haridas kirtan. I'm enjoying this. So like that, he was relishing. So like that, it shows that how, despite the situation of the devotee, despite he was rejected, but Lord also accepted him, his kirtan, and then he was serving him. And then after that, of course, obviously, he will also be delivered. So like this, we come to know Chaitanya Prabhu's pastime, and Chota Haridas got his deliverance. Then also there is one more pastime of Shivananda. It continues, and Shivananda had a doubt about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's potency to some extent, because many people were telling that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can enter into a devotee, and he can make them, his moods can be altered. A person's mood can be altered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invoking or entering to their hearts. So he was not, he was not very convinced about it. So once Kirtan party was going on, So Shivananda Prabhu was doubting whether that will happen. And there was one brahmachari, so that was Nakula Brahmachari. So he was a great devotee and he was very surrendered soul to Chaitanya Prabhu. And then he was also there in that Kirtan party. And then when he had a doubt, Shivananda Prabhu had a doubt about that whether he has entered. At that time, he had entered. Mahaprabhu's mood has entered in Nakula Brahmachari. So when he was doubt, so he started going in front. Then suddenly a voice came. Nakula Brahmachari called, "Hey Shivananda, who is Shivananda? Please come here. Please come here." So he called. Shivananda came from the crowd, and then he saw. Then at that time, he told, "See, you are thinking, no, that uh, Mahaprabhu has not entered into me here, and I'm chanting the Gaur Gopala mantra. So there is this Gaur Gopala mantra. So he said that hearing this call, Shivananda Sen quickly went there, offered obeisance to Nakul Brahmachari, and sat down near him. You are chanting the Gaur Gopal mantra composed of 4 syllables. Now please give up your doubts that I have recited with you. Shivananda Sen therefore developed full confidence in the mind that Nakul Brahmachari was filled with the presence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shivananda Sena then offered him respect and devotional service. In this way, one should understand the inconceivable potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, please hear how his appearance, Avirbhava, takes place. So, this Gaur Gopal mantra is basically, there are 2 Gaur Gopal mantras. One is Gauranga, Gauranga, 4, that is 4 syllable. And there is also another one, which is the Radha Krishna. So, these are the 2 Gaur Gopal mantra which are being chanted. That's what Prabhupada gives in the purport. So, like this, Chota Haridas was chastised. I mean, then finally was delivered. And then we also get the pastimes of Narsimha Brahmachari. So, there is one pastime involving him. And in this chapter itself, we come to know that Lord had 3.5 devotees, intimate devotees. One was Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Raya, Shikimati, and Shikimati's sister Madhuri Devi. So like this, we come to know. And also, it is said that Chaitanya Prabhu is present at 4 places. Which are the 4 places? One is Shachimata's house, wherever Nityananda Prabhu is dancing, and when Srivas Angan, Mayapur, where the Kirtan, eternal Kirtan is going on. And then the 4th one is Raghava Pandit's house. Raghava Pandit's house is in Panihatti. So these 4 places, Chaitanya Prabhu is at there. Whoever offers, whatever offerings are being made at these 4 places, Chaitanya Prabhu appears there, he comes there, and then he will accept the offering. So like that, Mahaprabhu's glories are mentioned. Then we get to know the glories of Haridas Thakur in the 3rd chapter. And as we know, Haridas Thakur is actually Brahma's incarnation. He came to take the holy name, and he is our Harinam Acharya, the holy name, the most the important personality of the holy. He is the epitome of holy name. So his pastime is also covered here, and we know that when he came to Benipole, one forest of Benipole in Bengal, and he came to chant there very peacefully. That time, there was some devotee, one Ramchandra Khan. He was also a Brahmana, but they were of a ritualistic or caste Brahmana kind of a thing, and he hated this Haridas Thakur. And first of all, Haridas Thakur was from a Mlecha family, Mohammedan family, and then he was chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So although Mahaprabhu had accepted him as a disciple, but this Ramachandra Khan had not accepted, and there were so many comments and so many chastisements were being made on Haridas Thakur that you are a Mlecha, you are a lowborn, so like that. But relentlessly, Haridas Thakur was chanting, and then here, so he hatched a plan. He want to send a prostitute and then to disturb his chanting process. So when he came, then the Mahaprabhu, Haridas Thakur said, no, I'm doing my chanting. I've taken a vow of 3 lakhs Harinam. Until I finish it, I cannot come to your service. I cannot be of service to you. So will you please wait? So like that, he made her sit. and then the whole night passed, and by the time still he said that my chanting is not over. And then was sitting in front of the tulsi, and he made her also sit, and then wait. Then next day happened, the same thing happened. He never allowed, and then he was completely chanting. And then the third day also the same thing happened. And then by this time, Ramchandra Khan also was getting frustrated. And then he said that somehow today, third, you have somehow disturb him and have to somehow contaminate him. But that day also it happened. And the third day, it so happened that while chanting was he continuously 3 nights, the holy names, she also started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. She also converted when she surrenders to Haridas Thakur. Like this, you understand the Haridas Thakur. And then and then she also says that I want to surrender. But then Haridas Thakur says very, very importantly, he says that, okay, whatever, although what she said, whatever assets you have, whatever things you have, you first give that, donate it, charity as a charity or something, and then you come as a without any attachment, without any strings attached. Only then I can give you initiation, or I can give you shelter. So like that, and then she goes home, and then she leaves everything, all her ornaments, all her belongings, everything. She gives it to the other people, and then she relinquishes everything, and then she comes back just with a white cloth, white sari and things like that. And then Haridas Thakur accepts her, and then he allows her to be in his association and then do the service of the Lord. So this is the glories of Haridas Thakur. Then the fourth chapter is about Sanatana Goswami visits the Lord. Let me see. Yeah. So this is also very, very important lesson we get from this chapter. In fact, when the Sanatana Goswami had escaped from the Nawab Hussain, so he goes to, he escapes, he passes through the Jharkhand forest, and then he contracts the skin disease. And then he comes back. He comes back to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri. So while he had the skin disease, he always was thinking that I'm such a low fallen person. Let me commit suicide, something like that. He has a very bad thinking. And then when let me now the Indian Rath Yatra is there. Let me go and commit suicide to the Rath Yatra. So when he comes and meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with all his skin, the pus was oozing out of his body and all that. So he stays at a distance. But then Haridas Thakur and others, they call him and then say that, see, Janardhan Goswami has come. And then so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hugs him, and then but he feels very annoyed. Oh my God, to the Lord, Supreme Lord, to the purest form, I'm trying to contaminate. So he feels very morose with that. But then Mahaprabhu says, no, don't worry. You are actually very pure. I know what you are. So he knows glories of Sanatana Goswami, and then he still allows him to accept. And then he also tells, he reads the mind of Sanatana Goswami and tells that, see, you are thinking of committing suicide. No, you cannot. It's not. You are not. You don't have that independence. You have surrendered unto me. You are my disciple. You are my property. You have to just what I say and act. He gives us instant, and then never think of committing suicide or anything, because life itself, human life itself, is so great, and you have got a lot of things to do. And then he advises him 3 things. That one is that you go to Vrindavan, unearth all the temple places, and then restore all the temples. And then he says you write books, and then also read the Shastras, write books, and teach to the people, to the local people. So like that, lot of instructions he gives, and then Sanatana Goswami goes. And in this bargain, what happens is there is one Jagadananda Pandit. So he's also very intimate devotee of Mahaprabhu. He had that Satyabhama, the mood of Satyabhama. So he was very, very attached to Mahaprabhu, and then he was so he was not allowing any devotee to near to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and if somebody were to were to take his audience or something, it was Jagannatha Prabhu who was controlling, because he was so protective of Mahaprabhu. Same like how Satyabhama had with Krishna, very possessive and protective. And when Sanatana Goswami, later part of the time, he feels that the wound is not healing. So he says that I'm feeling so much of now almost a month I'm here and the wound is not healing. I'm actually unnecessarily I'm contaminating the people. So many devotees are going, pujaris are going here, they're serving the Lord, and if by chance if I touch them, they will get contaminated. So I'm committing a great offense. So let me. So he again feels very sorry, and then he finally speaks to Jagannath Pandit and says that now I'm going to go to Vrindavan. I'm not going to stay in Puri. And this is advice given by Jagannananda Pandit. He says that okay, if you want to go, you go to Puri, then you go to Vrindavan, and then you can come out of this your affliction like that. This message Mahaprabhu hears that. Then he asks Sanatana Goswami, "You want to go to Vrindavan? Why do you want to go? Who asked you to go?" Like that he says. Then he says it comes to know that Jagannatha Pandita has told. Then he blasts Jagannatha, chastises Jagannatha Pandita. Who are you to say that? You think you're the controller? When I'm here, and when he's my disciple, you're trying to overtake me. You're giving him instructions without my knowledge. Like that, he chastises Jagannath Pandit. He says, "No, never do like this." No, and then then finally Mahaprabhu hugs him, and then he blesses him, and then within a few hours, the entire disease is gone by the touch, and then by the prayers of Mahaprabhu, by the transcendental mercy of the Lord, the disease is gone, and then he gets cured. So we can see all these days it was not done. It was he could not the curing didn't happen, but it shows that how Lord interacts with the devotee. How the devotee interacts. It shows that, and the Lord finally he gave this. He cured the disease. And then showed that and gave him a very transcendental form and a golden complexion. Everything was cleared. So that is the mercy of the Lord. So some things are there, but then the Lord's mercy, the magic has to happen, the miracle has to happen, and that is how this message got to know to all the local residents in Puris and all the Pandas and all that people, all the villagers came to know of the citizens, and then they started glorifying. So this way, Mahaprabhu's glory also increased. That how just by a touch, a transcendental touch, he could cure this skin disease. So like this is the way of glorification by the Lord, and he showed his glories actually were actually revealed. This is the pastime where we can see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the people also got more faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then they started him. Then we come to this sixth chapter where we have Raghunath Goswami's introduction, and his uncle Hiranmay was a tax collector, and Raghunath Goswami's father was Govardhan Majumdar. And while they were there, for some in one of the situation, one of the times, it so happened that he was collecting 20 lakhs gold coins, or 20 lakhs cowdies, I think. And then in that he had to give 15 lakhs. 5 lakhs was his profit, but then he submitted to the local Chaudhry of the Turkish origin only 12. So the 3 lakhs was missing. So he had complained to the Nawab, and then they had come and then they had arrested these two gentlemen. And then somehow Raghunath Goswami, by using his skills and intelligence, he allowed them. He made a patch up, saying that okay, that 8 lakhs is missing. No, we will share. I mean, you're also my relative, my uncle. I will share that with you. So he did that, and then he got the release of his uncle and father. So he used his skill, especially in the commercial terms, used his skill, and then he is saved. And then Raghunath Das, as we know, he had come to Puri, and then wanted to surrender and take shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You're just now married. don't do this. And the parents also were very not favoring that he takes a sannyas or he becomes his disciple. So then Mahaprabhu sends him back and says, and then time will come when I will call you. Then you come, like that he advises him. So then finally he also comes and he becomes very, very dearmost type of. Actually, he gets initiated by Swarup Damodar. He came to the village of Swarup Damodar, and Swarup Damodar, Mahaprabhu tells Swarup Damodar, you take care of Raghunath and you guide him. So then finally, when he surrenders, he does that. And in between, we see that so many times Raghunath Das Goswami was escaping from his house and going to Puri, but every time his father used to send the security people and bring him back. Then later on, he thought that that was not possible. Then he used to send money so that at least he will take care, because he is coming from a very wealthy zamindar family. They could not tolerate that he being like a behaving like a mendicant. And we know how Raghunath Goswami was living. Initially, he was taking prasad what the devotees were making, uh, or he was getting the Rajbhog from the temple with Haridas Thakur and all eating prasad, which was very quite opulent. Then it so felt that that is very opulent. So then he started begging from the people who were devotees who were coming out of the temple bringing prasad. So he was doing that madhukari and satisfying himself. Then he came to an extent that even that he felt was very opulent, and it is he's always busy in enjoying senses. So he used to go to the drain where the rice was being the rice and the ganji, the whatever the starch was there that was being thrown out in the drain. So there he used to go pick up the rice grains, and then he used to dry it, and then he used to eat it. It came to that, and then a little bit of chas and a little bit of water, that's all. That like that he started become renouncing this. Every time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming to know about this, his behavior, Mahaprabhu was very extremely happy. The kind of renouncement he was doing, and that kind of progressing, because he was finding that Raghunath Goswami was progressing very and then later on, as we know, he came and stayed in Radhakund, because Radhakund is one of the topmost place in this Brahma Vrindavan, where we can get Radha Prem, because all the pastimes, most of the pastimes of Radha Krishna happened in Radhakund and then Shamkund. So even today we see the Samadhi of Raghunath Das Goswami, where just next to that, just into the Radhakund, we have his Samadhi. So he was very, very intimate devotee. I mean, he was such a rich man, but then he took to a renouncement, and then he became one of the greatest devotees. And then he also wrote many books. So then we have the Panihati. Before that, we also in this chapter we also have Panihati, where it's also called the Danda Mahotsav, where actually Raghunath Das Goswami wants to go and meet Nityananda Prabhu and gets his mercy. So then the moment when the devotees say that, oh, Raghunath is prostrating, paying your obeisance from a distance, he calls him, come, you thief. You are stealing you are a thief, you are stealing from me the mercy. So like that he chastises him, and then he puts his leg on his head, and then he blesses Nityananda Mahaprabhu. So the very reason why he wanted to chastise him was, why he said thief, was that even before coming to me, I mean, out of very jovial talk, he said that if somebody has to get Guru's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, it has to come through Nityananda Mahaprabhu, because Nityananda Prabhu or Balram, the Balram Shakti is one who will, they are the Adi Guru. They have to give the permission, then you can go to the Lord. But in Raghunath Das Goswami's case, he had approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he had taken his blessings, and then he's coming to Nityananda Mahaprabhu. So that's why he said, you are a thief, out of a very just. And then he said, okay, I'll give you punishment. What is the punishment? That you have to feed all my devotees with chida and dahi, the beaten rice, avalakki, we call poha, and with the curds. And of course, they made so much of dishes out of this, sweet dishes mixed with fruits and honey, butter, cheese, so many things they put. And then some also with salt preparations also they made. And then they celebrated in Panihati. Panihati is again very close to Kolkata, 20 kilometers from away, where Ganga flows there and almost reaching to the Bay of Bengal. So there we have this place, and then this festival happened. And then we come to the chapter of Ramchandra Puri, who criticizes Mahaprabhu for overeating. So Ramchandra Puri was actually the disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and Advaita Acharya also was the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And Ishwara Puri, Ramchandra Puri, Ramchandra Puri was disciple of Ishwara Puri. So they were all equal. They were all the same peers. But then Ramchandra Puri was somehow he had deviated, and then he had taken the guidance, or was attending was taking shelter of Mayavada philosophy and all that. So he had become something. He had also become like a Mayavadi, although he is a disciple of Ishwara Puri. So he was like this. And then there was another Paramananda Puri who was also a peer of of Ramchandra Puri, was together meeting Chaitanya Prabhu. But this Ramchandra Puri was always in this mood of chastising. So one or twice he had come to meet Chaitanya Prabhu, and then he was telling that, and then he had asked his assistant Govinda one time that you have brought so much of prasadam, you feed Chaitanya Prabhu. So deliberately he allowed Govinda to serve Chaitanya Prabhu, and Chaitanya Prabhu had to honor it. He was consuming, and after everything is over, then he said that, oh, Chaitanya Prabhu, you are a sannyasi, and you are a young sannyasi, and you are eating so much. I never thought you are in this order. So like that, he allowed him to do that act, allowed him to eat, and then after that, he's chastising. He's telling that you're eating more, you should not do like this. So he's trying to give some good advice. So which actually Chaitanya Prabhu also was affected. He also insulted, but he never took it in a very serious matter, and then he never retorted or responded. He just accepted it. Yes, sorry, I did like this. In future, I will take care like this. Then slowly, it so happened then when Mahaprabhu said that when to go in the assistant, that you just bring me some few vegetables and some few handful of rice. That's all. So like that, Mahaprabhu became very, very, very austere, and he had completely stopped eating. And this again, other devotees got all the close intimates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got very affected. Jagadananda Panit, Ramananda Raya, and Swarup Damodar, all of them got affected, and they were offended. They somehow wanted to stop this Ramchandra Puri from all these things, but they were helpless because he's a senior devotee. So they had to tolerate this. Somehow they had to tolerate, and then Mahaprabhu, despite all these offerings, he never accepted. He just remained, no, I'm not going to take. I don't want to get a bad name, or I don't want my name sullied, and people should not think that I am a bhogi. So like that, Mahaprabhu took a very, very humble position, and then and then after 3-4 months, he was staying there, and then after he left, all of them got a big relief. All the devotees. Then they started celebrating again because Ramchandra Puri is not there. No, so they started celebrating, and Mahaprabhu was also honored just for that sake, just to please the devotees. So like this, we come to know. And in the next chapter, there was one Gopinath Pattanayaka. He actually gets chastised. He gets delivered. Actually, by Chaitanya Prabhu. There was one Bhavananda Raya, very topmost devotee in Gaudadesh, and then he had 5 sons. So he was called. These 5 were called as the Pandus. In that we have Ramananda Raya, his brother Gopinath Pattanayaka, and then you had Vaninatha, Sudha Nidhi, and Kalanidhi. So these were the 5 devotees. All of them were top class devotees, and we know that how Ramananda Raya was totally in the mood of Gopi Bhav, and he was interacting with the Chaitanya Prabhu. He was very intimate devotee. When I discussed earlier also, Ramananda Raya was there. And this Gopinath Pattanayaka was actually a tax collector. And then he was charged with some offense, saying that he had not given some money. So because of that, this happened in the Orissa, Puri, Raja, Puri government. So the minister and the son had alleged that he had stolen the money, he is not deposited. So he was actually declared that he should be punished and he should be put to the changa. A changa is that where swords are kept, and then the person is tied at the top, and he will be allowed to fall and on the swords, and then out of the pain, out of the blood oozing and all that, he will die slow death. So it's such a harsh punishment. So he was actually tied to the changa, and then then this message came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, what is the reason? Then he understood everything. He said that okay, he made a crime, or he has defaulted, so he is getting this. So what I have got to do with this? So like that, he remained very, very impartial. If you people allow, and everybody was requesting that he should go and talk to the king, and then try to release Gopinath Patnaik because he's a devotee. But then Mahaprabhu said, "Are he did a thing? Why are you allowing? Are you making me become part of the crime by accepting this and then by going against the law? I will not go. If you people force me, I will go to Alarnath." So like that, he was telling, "I'll go back. I will leave from here. I don't." But then somehow Kashi Mishra, who was very senior devotee and then very close to the king and to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because in Kashi Mishra's house, only in one small room in a place called Gambhira, that house is called Gambhira, even that is there today, just behind the temple, Puri temple. So there Mahaprabhu was staying in a small room. So this Kashi Mishra went and then negotiated and then said that, this has happened. And then finally, the king came to know, oh my God, if Mahaprabhu goes, then it will be a disaster for me. I cannot allow, I want always Mahaprabhu in my kingdom, in my place and near the temple. All auspicious will be there. And then at the same time, I will not allow Gopinath Patnaik also to be punished because he's such a great devotee. Okay, he has made a mistake, but in future, I'll allow him to, I'll excuse him this time, like that he says. And then he offered him double the salary, and then he gave another place so that he can do his tax collection. And then he honored him with a silk shawl and all that. So that is there mentioned. So like that. But in the meantime, we have to understand what was the reason how the transformed king's mind. Actually, it was the son and the tax collector, another one Sena, one minister who actually had given this punishment. But then the king was not aware. But the moment the Mahaprabhu's message came and Mahaprabhu started chanting or praying, this is what the transformation happened in the king. And very interestingly, Mahaprabhu asked, okay, when he is put to the Changa, initially, he asked the devotees, what was Gopinath Patnaik doing? What was he doing? You tell me. Then they said that Mahaprabhu, he was chanting your name, he was chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he was always immersed in the holy name. So like that. Then Mahaprabhu is very pleased. Oh, really? If that is the case, then fine. No, I'll take care. So that was the decision Mahaprabhu took. And then, despite all the odds, then he finally gave his blessings because he was chanting the holy name. He was doing this, and then he transformed the mind of the king, and king also relieved him, and then finally he was released. So this way, a wonderful pastime happened with the Gopinath Patnaika. Yeah, and then finally we see Haridas Thakur passing away. That's also very, very poignant stage. Haridas Thakur was almost in his very, very old age, and then they find that while they were chanting together, Mahaprabhu and all the associates, Haridas Thakur, and then when Mahaprabhu says, what is your disease? You tell me. So Haridas Thakur says, my only disease is I'm not able to chant the holy name. Actually, he's chanting 3 lakh holy name. Almost 22 hours in a day he's chanting, or 24 hours he's chanting. But still he says, I don't have the mood. I'm not able to chant. This is my illness. This is my disease. Please cure my disease. So like that he implores upon Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And finally, when Mahaprabhu is in presence, he is holding him in his hands. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur meet an eye to eye, and with such a which is frail personality, he's almost like, because he was not eating much, he was not always chanting, his body had become so frail, and then finally both of them meet together, and then Mahaprabhu lifts them, and both of them together, and then he by chanting the holy name and by chanting Gauranga, and chanting the holy name, Haridas Thakur leaves his body, and then later on they make a big procession. They go to the sea, Jagannath Sea, and then they bury him, and then they inert him, and then that's it. So this is how he's passing away, and then the celebration also happens there. Of course, because when a great devotee Mahatma like Haridas Thakur is passing away, it's a great enjoyment also, because he's again going back to the spiritual world, and he had already liberated so many devotees. So it's a great, although there is a sorrowful feeling, but it's a for the Vaishnava, it said, no, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said the Vaishnava will never die, because whether he is living or dead, he's always chanting the holy name. He's always in the spiritual world. So like that, his eternal pastimes are there. And then we have a few other pastimes which are very, very transcendental madness of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feelings of separation from Krishna, and Mahaprabhu tastes nectar from lips of Lord Krishna, and the bodily transformation, the Ashta Sattvika Bhava, which happens with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So all these are very, very esoteric chapters glorifying Mahaprabhu. The Maha Ashta Sattvika Bhava is that where he sometimes roars, he's shivering, he's crying, and then he's so many, all these eight, or he stays like a statue, Romancha Kampashu Taranga Bhajo, and then his Roma, so hairs standing at the end. So like that, so many of these things happen, and then finally he faints. So these are the Ashta Sattvika Bhavas which are there. Of course, these are all mentioned here. It's very difficult for us to fathom this, but just for devotees' information, I'm just giving this. I'm not going to go into details. I think we almost come to the time. We almost 10 days, 10 minutes ahead of the schedule. And finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's interactions with the Lord. And then there is also one past time where he goes to the sea, and then in complete ecstatic madness, completely lost in Radha Krishna Bhav, Prem, he goes to the sea, Jagannath Puri Sea, and then he get caught in the fisherman's web, the net. And then that fisherman, he brings him to life, and then he touches Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he gets the love of Godhead, and then he starts dancing. And later on, all the devotees are searching for Mahaprabhu. Where is he? Where is he? Then they finally come to know that he's in the sea, and this fisherman is bringing. And then they feel so happy seeing him, because they were so much affected that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not to be seen. They thought, what has happened? Where he has disappeared? Then they find that this act Mahaprabhu has done. Then they thank the fisherman, and then they all come back, and then again get into the holy Sankirtan, and then they bring him back to the room, and then pacify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we see so many pastimes mentioned by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami about Mahaprabhu's the Antya Lila and Lila. And then, that's it. And then finally, the Sikshashtaka prayer is there, where Mahaprabhu glorifies holy name, and his own Sikshashtaka he recites and asks the devotees to recite. And then he enjoys each one of them, each one of the slokas, each one of the pastimes of the Lord. All these are discussed, and that way it is ending here. And finally, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives the entire synopsis, all the event, and that is how it ends. Hare Krishna. So that's when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance, has not been given here. He has not quoted anything. Of course, there are various devotees mentioned about it, referring to other shastras. So, but Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ends in a very, very happy note about his pastimes. Hare Krishna. So I think, with this I will just conclude. If anyone has any reflections, any doubts, clarifications, they can ask. Very well.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Anirudh Seva Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your session.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your session, Prabhuji. It was a wonderful one. And probably today is the last day and we have this Gaur Purnima session. So thank you so much. Correct. Prabhuji, one
thanks for giving him the opportunity also.
Yeah, thank you so much. Acha Prabhuji, there is one announcement for the for the audience. So can I take?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I audible to everyone? Can you please switch on the video just for 1 minute? Can you please switch on the videos? Yeah. Please. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. So happy Holi and happy Gaur Purnima to all of you. I don't know where are you located, but then okay. Yeah, Padma Mataji, I know, Archana Mataji, I know, Yes. Acha, so we are planning to take those who are interested to Rath Yatra, Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra. Yeah, Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra. So that message I've already put in the group. I've already put it in the group. So how many of you have seen that? How many of you have seen that? Can you raise your hands? Yes. So last year also we had taken few devotees, around 20 to 25 devotees were taken to Jagannath Puri. So the charges are quite high, and then we cannot do anything about it because we want to take accommodation at hotel in Grant Road so that you can view from balcony only. So because of that, charges are very high. So and most of the roads will be blocked that particular day. So it doesn't make any sense to take the accommodation somewhere as like 1 or 2 kilometers away. So it will be in the Grand Road itself. So those who can afford it, it's a lifetime opportunity, I would say. You will be sitting, you'll be there, you'll be viewing everything from the balcony, and the chariot will be passing on. The atmosphere will be very vibrant. Okay, so the yatra will be for 3 days, most probably 15, 16, and 17. So just kindly go through the details, and if you have any queries, please let me know. Banali Mataji was there last time. Banali Sen Mataji was there. Yes. Okay, so if you want to come, we'll accommodate you. That is during Rath Yatra, and then as I told you, charges will be very high. So you can just see the charge details as well. And of the season, like when Rath Yatra is not there, that time also we'll try to take you. That time charges will be quite normal, maybe like at the most 9,000, 8,000 to 9,000. Okay, but here during Rath Yatra, it is very high. Manali Mataji knows how difficult it is. Okay, so please try if you can come. Let us know. We want around 20 devotees, then we'll organize this. So let me know within a day or two. Okay? So you want to come for this Rath Yatra, or you want to come in a yatra which is beyond this Rath Yatra period, maybe like August, September, October, we can plan. Okay, but then this yatra is for July. So I'll put the details in SBM Srimad Bhagavatam session group. Just have a look on it. Okay? Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, you can put the details of the other one also, which you hope to go in August. So I will know which places you are planning, Prabhuji.
Yeah, mainly it will be Jagannath Puri, and probably we might touch Bhubaneswar as well. But this time during Rath Yatra, only Puri. Okay?
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Anil Seva Prabhuji.
Okay,
You are
Prabhu.
in Vrindavan or Bangalore, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
I'm in Bangalore, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Dandat Pranam.
So we'll end the session, Prabhu. I'll exit.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Kripa Sindhubhyo eva patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Can I end the session with your permission, Prabhu? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I end the session?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Hare Krishna.